Trump's been in office now for almost 24 hours, and it seems to be that he's sticking true to his word. This is bringing a lot of optimism back into the markets. And as discussed yesterday, we're looking for the stock market to actually take out some of those key levels to create the first higher high. We have now seen that, which is positive news. Crypto is going to follow the stock market. And if the Trump coin goes up, the rest of crypto will probably go up, since we saw that massive suck of liquidity. We're going to have a look at the exchange volume to see is that continuing to tick towards the upside. And then we'll also talk about what's actually happening, right? It's happening for crypto. Mega pumps loading. We're right on the cusp of that pivot level where essentially start to see mass acceleration into the altcoin sector. So we have a lot to discuss in today's show. Again, guys, smash the like button. Help us out over here. Get the show content out there. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Let's get straight into it. First thing I'm noticing, and first order of affairs, is that we are actually seeing a little bit of a rebound here from what was a very, very hot narrative just a couple of days ago. That being the AI agent narrative, right? Virtuals, where those AI agents are launched, 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓, starting to push up over here. So we'll have a look at a couple of those coins. Also, a big move over here in Hype, right? Hype is one that in the show that we just did, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I spoke about Hype. And now you're starting to see very quickly a lot of the big influential people jumping into the space on Hype and starting to get a little bit of a move over there. We already started to establish the position in 𝗬𝗓𝗓 a couple of days ago during the dip. So up nicely on that position. It's actually moved up now to number 3 in terms of position sizing in my portfolio. Solana being the biggest, 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗚 actually being second. And then third is Hype, right? Catching up to the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗚 position, possibly soon to overtake it. But we'll see if memes start to rebound. Probably 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗚 will leave this one behind in the dust, right? So just quickly going to Trump. First and foremost, you can see he just came out on his Truth Social making this post. I just called the mother of Ross, William Albrecht, to let her know that in honor of her and the libertarian movement, which supported me so strongly, it was my absolute pleasure, right, to have just signed a full and unconditional pardon of her son, Ross. The scum that worked to convict me with some of the same lunatics who were involved in the modern day weaponization of government against me. He was given 2 life sentences and 40 years. Absolutely ridiculous. And Ross is free, right? Which is what Trump, leading up into the election phase, promised that he was going to do, is going to free Ross. For those of you who are like, who the hell is Ross? Ross was essentially the founder of Silk Road, which was call it a free marketplace where anything could be sold. Of course, there were a lot of illegal substances over there. And ultimately, they set him up. There's actually a movie about it on Netflix. You guys can go and watch it. I forgot what it's called. It's probably called Silk Road or something along those lines. Just Google Silk Road Netflix. You can go watch the movie. Long story short, they set him up, got his laptop, and they basically forced his hand to assassinate someone, which was staged. And basically, that's why he got life in prison, 2 life sentences. Now, Ross is free, right? And he was an early Bitcoiner. So the space is feeling optimistic about that. More about Trump over here. He has now announced a massive $500 billion AI investment. So we'll see crypto probably clutch onto that narrative, the AI narrative. And we've seen that's possibly why some of these AI agents are starting to bounce, right? Sudden big gainers straight out the gates. One of the biggest bubbles over here, 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓. So let's continue. A lot to look forward to. Let's see what's happening on the Trump coin over here. Trump has been range bound. Remember the Trump coin over here. So ultimately, a lot of traders would be looking to trade this or this deviation of the range. A little bit of resistance coming in at mid-range. If you can reclaim and hold above that, trade it back to the range high. Generally speaking, I'd love to see this token continue to go onwards and upwards, despite me not holding any, because it will be good for the space, right? Those new market participants who recently would have come into crypto due to this coin would, of course, be looking for prices to continue to go up. And that means they'll be inherently positive about crypto. If this starts to nuke, it's going to be a bad look, right? It's going to be a bad look for Trump and the rest of the crypto space. So let's see. They are continuing to bid, probably a lot to do with this, right? With this, which just came out. So in 𝗬𝗓𝗓𝗓, we've been scalping this, at least I should say. Farouk, who is our scalp trader, has been absolutely smashing it, right? 119% trade on Trump, another 339%. When there's volatility, there's opportunity, right? So jump into 𝗬𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓. If you do want to learn more about that, there is a link in the description below that you can still sign up. So another positive that we're looking at is what what we spoke about yesterday. We were looking at the break of the downsloping trend line on the stock market. And I said my expectation would be that we should have a full body candle close and open above this level. Now we've got that, right? So you've got your official breakup structure. That means the downtrend has ended, and this is most likely going to be the major low. And now we're looking at straight continuation. So as the stock market heats up, this will drive all prices up for everything. This is the end game. Let's call it the beginning of the end, right? The beginning of the end. It's not over yet. You'll still all make a whole lot of money. But in terms of how far are we in this bull market, anyway, I would say between about 66 and about 76%, right? 66 to 76%, give or take. That's kind of my analysis in terms of the timing and how much time is left. The good news is that the majority of the gains will be made in the final innings, right? In the last part of the bull run. So there is still going to be a lot of opportunity. We want to see health from the stock market in order to continue to drive prices onwards and upwards. And if the stock market is strong and optimistic, that creates also the possibility that we might get the breakdown of three very important charts, right? There's three key charts that I'm looking at, and I want to see those three charts break down. The first that we're looking at is the DXY, right? The dollar index, which is now pushed directly up into the golden pocket over there, the 0.65 to 618 level. That is where your rejection has started. We do need to break the dotted line over there. If we break that dotted line, which is going to be 107.75, that should accelerate the move towards the downside. And if we can get a full-on proper reversal on the dollar index over here, that usually bodes very, very well for the stock markets, which indirectly will affect crypto, because crypto tends to follow at a higher magnitude than what the stock market is, right? So stock market goes up 5%, Bitcoin goes up 15%, and then altcoins go up 30 to 40%. So we want the breakdown of this. That's one chart. Second chart that we're looking at, we also want to see a breakdown on is, of course, the Bitcoin dominance chart, and this is coming directly into resistance. So pay attention over here as you come into the zone. If you do start to reject, I believe the next rejection will be incredibly aggressive towards the downside. So you'd be looking for a very, very hard knock or drop towards the bottom side over there, and that should drive all altcoins towards the upside, right? The other chart that we're looking at over here is, of course, the USDT dominance, which you can actually see is currently in a massive cup and handle formation, right? An inverse cup and handle formation. Maybe since a lot of you think from the bullish perspective, we could just invert that scale for you over there, and then you can have a look at like this, right? This is your bullish cup and handle formation. And if you are starting to break that neckline, which we're very, very close to, we've been grinding into that for quite some time, then you would expect rapid acceleration. And that acceleration is what's going to drive crypto massively towards the upside. And I would expect that simultaneously, you're going to get a drop of all of these charts, right? Number one, DXY. Number two, Bitcoin dominance. And number three, the USDT dominance, right? So I see there's a question quickly from Mark over there. What's your thoughts on the carry trade unwinding this Friday? I'm not too concerned personally. I'm just trading the chart that's in front of me. And right now, there isn't really any major signs to suggest that everything should absolutely dump and we should have some sort of a freak sell-off, right? We already did see that. If I'm not mistaken, that was the one that caused the dump in Bitcoin in August. And that was the major low that came in at $49,000. I think very, very unlikely that you're going to see that twice in a row consecutively. So I'm focusing on the chart that's in front of me. And this is what it suggests, right? Volume is rising. That's a good sign. We want to see that volume continue to tick up. If we do start to reject from this $100 billion mark, volume starts to dwindle out over here, and we lead into Friday. We'll monitor the Japanese markets as we're coming into that date. Then, maybe that could create one more flush. But for the most part, I think things are lining up for the next big move, which you can see as well present in the total cryptocurrency market cap as you are creating yet another big order block, right? Tight range-bound environment over here, which is pretty much creating the platform for prices to possibly smash through this level and continue onwards and upwards. The good news is that we only slightly above those prior all-time highs. If all of these, risks were before us while prices were sitting somewhere up here, that would be different, right? Then I would start to say that we need to be a little bit more cautious. I don't necessarily think now's the time to put maximum risk on the table. I wouldn't say that, but I do think that now is the time to continue to hold your strong positions in the midst of what's a breakout for the next big trending move, right? So the expectation would be that this little order block, even if it takes a couple more weeks, the blue highlighted area over here, maybe we'll change the color to make it nice and bright. We'll put it in yellow. The yellow highlighted area over there should lead to a explosive move towards the upside. So that is your total cryptocurrency market cap. As long as the total cryptocurrency market cap is going up with the daily exchange volume, it means literally new money is coming into the crypto space. And that's exactly what you need, right? To the rising tide lifts all ships. That's what we need to see. Total 2 also has had a perfect amount of time to consolidate into the neckline of its cup and handle, prepping for the breakout. And then we also have Total 3, which is the true degen space, the real altcoin market. So it's minusing the top 10 coins over there. And this one ultimately has still yet to at least break with clean price action above the prior all-time highs, which means probably you have still a lot of upside opportunity over there. And you're seeing the same thing on others as well, right? So let's continue, right? A lot of things that we're focusing on over here, which could drive some of that momentum. Now, I definitely don't believe that all of these are going to be approved, but they have filed their applications now for the Trump, for the bonk and the Doge ETF as well. You can see this just recently came in. So we'll see. I think the first one to be approved probably going to be Solana or XRP. We'll keep an eye out on these, but Sol could be approved as soon as this year, at least as my personal belief. And Solana is actually doing very, very well right now. We'll have a look at that as well. It may be trying to attempt another move at the all-time highs, at which point you'll be looking for a breakout. So Bitcoin volatility starting to expand. Stochastic RSI now starting to turn up. It's not uncommon that you'll see, one more trap scenario. Of course, we've all been frustrated with something like that before, which would recontract this. If that does happen, just view that as a opportunity for the latecomers. You get a second chance. Right now, Bitcoin is still following the trajectory. This is a fractal that was taken ultimately from the price cycle. If you follow that same timing trajectory, well, so far we're on course, right? We're on course to meet this $120,000 to $130,000 level sometime in February, right? Which is a couple of weeks away. So expect good things to come in the next couple of weeks, at least according to this chart. And I spoke about this with the whale room community yesterday and why I wouldn't be too worried about this massive wick, right? The wick that occurred on the weekly, daily, and any other time frame between the daily and the weekly was that massive wick where Bitcoin wicked all the way to the top and came down. And I said that these types of tools will help you to keep you in trending moves, right? We have price capped above the low time frame moving average, the yellow, the medium, and the high time frame, and all of them are starting to angle towards the upside, right? So therefore, you are in the midst of a trending move. The other important thing to note is that yesterday was one of the highest daily closes we've ever seen for Bitcoin, right? If we do take a closer look at this daily close came in at 106,159. The previous daily close came in at 106,099, and the one after that came in at 106,136. Which ultimately means I think this is your highest daily close ever for Bitcoin. So despite what that wick looks like from before, the chances are that you're probably going to have continuation over here. Prices above the yellow trend, the yellow line over here, which means your RSI continues to hold that momentum towards the upside. Bulls are in control. Beautiful spread over here starting to take place between the 9 and the 18 exponential moving average, the yellow and the pink. And if this starts to get above that pivot level over here, the yellow line, then you really start to enter into those powerful trending moves. So long story short, it's all looking good, right? There's nothing, at least in my opinion, that suggests that you should be too concerned. Your full confirmation would be multiple 4-hour candle closes, so at least a 12-hour candle close above that range high over here at 100, call it $107,000. If you get multiple candle closes above $107,000, that is going to look really, really good for short-term traders to also start to activate longs over there because you've broken out of the trading range. You can see our price keeps finding support over here on the 50 EMA. We spoke about pulling back into the golden cross between the 50 and the 200, which had multiple levels of confluence in the form of the downsloping trend line, in the form of the 9 and 18 exponential, and many other reasons, right? So we said that this was a buy the dip opportunity over there. You can see that we've only managed to close one full candle outside of the top side of the trading range, 1 4-hour candle over there. So maybe in the coming days, right, if you maybe put in a bit more of a pullback today, kind of reaccumulate, then you can expect that probably sometime by Friday, you should start to get multiple candle closes, 1, 2, 3, that's your 12-hour candle closes outside the top of the trading range, and that should get prices rallying really nicely, right? Otherwise, you can continue to treat this as a trading range. Some low time frame traders will actually be opening up short trades over here with stop losses slightly above because they are trading it as a range. A range trader would short over there on the swing failure, which is what you essentially have, and then they will target back down towards at least the mid-range, which is about $99,000. And you can see it in the order books, right? Because if you actually have a look over here at the Binance liquidation heat map, we look at Binance because that is where the most traders go to trade. It's got the highest liquidity in the market. Then you can see the form of stop losses slightly above at 1.25 million. And you have the same thing on the bottom, right? So it's kind of equal between the bulls and the bears in terms of the trading range over there. So the heat mapped areas that we have over here essentially mark out that trading range, right? The heat map areas are referring to this as the range high, this as the range low, prices oscillating in between. And it's just a question of which side is it going to go to first to capture some of that liquidity, right? So we'll keep an eye on that. I'm inclined, as I just mentioned, to believe that we probably continue to trend towards the upside and make a try for the high side of the range, which means new all-time highs, right? And continuation. We still have not even seen anywhere near what we had in terms of YouTube views back in 2021. I wish that this tool went further back into 2017, 2013 cycles. But unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of that right now. At the end of the day, you can see actually retail interest has died off, right? Despite prices now closing at the highest level ever, there's a divergence over there. The retail interest has fallen off. People have lost interest. Part of the reason for that may possibly be due to the liquidity drain from the Trump and the Trump coins launching essentially and draining that liquidity out of their favorite coins. And their most retail participants are probably very heavy altcoin holders and not Bitcoin holders. So that could be one explanation for why you're seeing the YouTube views drop off despite Bitcoin closing at the highest prices ever and being in price discovery, essentially, right? We're pretty much in price discovery for Bitcoin at least. So the good news is that the tides will turn as they always do every single cycle. There's a certain point in time where everybody believes that altcoins are dead. That's it. The cycle will never repeat like other cycles, but every cycle does always repeat, right? So some patience would need to be required. Also, you can see in alignment with the YouTube views, typically you would track the aggregate funding rate, which shows a more objective means of where people are actually willing to put their money. Are they trading leverage long? Leverage or high leverage positions, generally speaking, towards the long side would spike the funding rate towards the upside like this. And this is where you start to create those parabolic advancements and those massive peaks. The craziest thing is that I am absolutely gobsmacked at how low this is still to this day. I would have at least expected, this would be halfway up to where we previously was, somewhere around there, similar to what we printed around the $74,000 level. And this is absolutely unbelievable, right? This is where the aggregate funding rate got to when Bitcoin got to $74,000. And now you can see, look at that. Completely down, yet what has price done, right? Price is rallying towards the upside. So you do have an absolutely enormous divergence. And this is oftentimes something that you do want to pay close attention to, right? So I definitely don't think it's time to become apathetic and leave the market. And also it's not time to walk away from your positions and just expect that everything will continue to pump. You need to keep your finger on the pulse during these all-important times, right? ETH-BTC continues to get smashed. Also something that I truly never thought that we'd see get knocked this hard, but yet here it is, right? All we can do as traders is work level to level. So this is now the next level of interest. And I mean, if things are really bad, then I guess you do have to actually put in the ultimate lows as a potential target if you start to consolidate underneath the yellow box. I find it hard to believe that that will happen. But again, crazier things have happened before. So only time will tell, right? Until such time as ETH BTC is trading higher, I think at the very least it should reach this target over here at 0.055. I would be very, very skeptical to be calling any tops or end of cycles, right? So I'm at least looking, and the reason why is it's going to be in alignment with the YouTube views spike when altcoins are doing very, very well, and the market's top on extreme greed, which simultaneously would occur when you have massive, huge new all-time highs on the aggregate funding rate. So we expect that these things should move in unison, and we haven't yet seen that, right? We can have a look at a couple of the altcoins. That is the rundown on Bitcoin and where I see things going. Business as usual. Everything is looking good. Bitcoin looks super strong. And now we just need to monitor the angle of the move. That's also something I spoke about yesterday with the whale room members. I'll quickly highlight this to you guys over here. What I mean by the angle of the move, well, the angle of the move is getting more and more extreme, right? So if we simply focus on this move over here, that was about almost a 45% angle. And if you look at the origin of this move over here, we're now sitting at about a 60% angle towards the upside. I know it's quite small. You have to zoom in if you want to see that. 44% angle, now at a 61% angle. And as the moves get more and more extreme, you know that you're nearing the final phase, right? So maybe we're about to put in the final move over here, which therefore would be something like that, 70, possibly even to 90 degrees, right? 70 to, let's say not 90 straight up, but 70 to like 80. It feels like it's going straight up between 70 and 80 degree angle over there. That means that, it becomes unsustainable. Then you start to reach the end of the cycle, at least for Bitcoin, and you have to put in some massive types of corrections and reset the market again, right? So it's not necessarily the end of the cycle, but at least you would expect a multi-month correction after something like that, possibly 4 to 6 months, and then run it back in October, November. That's why I really encourage you, right, to keep your finger on the pulse. Firstly, watch the show each and every single day. Follow me on X as well. All the links are listed below. Follow me on X. That's if you're not already in Whale Room. And then to get the highest value, jump into Whale Room over here. The link is listed below. Where's Whale Room over here? Let's just see. Whale School, Whale Room. There we have it. Jump into Whale Room. Eventually, I'm going to close it off, right? Because we want to keep it a tight-knit community. So jump in while you still can. This is where we discuss all of these things on Zoom meetings, and I keep you up to date each and every single day. This is also where our other traders are absolutely smashing it with these types of trades, right? So you can see the profits, right? Thank you, Kyledoops. It's a pleasure, sir. So you can have a look, go get familiar with that over there. Let's continue. Let's get into some of the altcoin mix. Let's see how things are looking over here. Phantom, very, very critical level. I really definitely want to see Phantom reclaim this, right? Very, very important. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to V-shape. That's the unfortunate part. The unfortunate part is your best case scenario is probably a little bit of chop like that. It's going to take some time to create a deviation, but nevertheless, Phantom or Sonic, right? I'm just charting Phantom so you have more price history over here because the Sonic chart looks like that, right? But Phantom, right at a key point, you definitely want to start to see that at least attempt to bounce out of that zone. Let's look at Hype, right? We got an absolutely beautiful, beautiful entry. I can actually pull that up over here. Let's go through to the Discord and we'll have a look over there. I did drop it in Captain's Take. I updated everyone on that this morning. So here it was. I dropped Hype all the way here on the 16th, right? The 16th, we started to take that position over there, and Hype is looking good. Let's go into this chart over here to see in terms of the yearly open. You've now fully reclaimed the yearly open. The key thing I was looking for over here was multiple candle closes above $25. You're probably going to get that $25 close or higher today, which means essentially you're breaking out of that W formation, right? So W formation, which is low, high, low, broke the downsloping trend line. We don't have much to work with on this because it's so new, right? Look at the chart history. It's not very, very long, but at the very, very least, you can then trade it up to back to the highs, right? So from current prices, your percentage move that you're looking at is at least 25%. Personally, I believe it will go straight into price discovery. We can kind of work with a little bit of a fib retracement over here to try and figure out a couple of target levels for where this could go. So there's your 1.618 coming in at about $46. So Hype, I think, is definitely the trade to be watching right now. I think hype is going to pick up some massive momentum. And as I told you, it's now moved up to the third biggest position that I have in my portfolio. That to the 1.618 is a 77% move. And if it moves anything like it did previously, you know, this thing pumps, right? This thing really, 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 really pumps. It's new. Not too many people know about it. Not too many people know how to figure it out. It had a very, very fair airdrop, so you don't have that overhead sell pressure from VCs and things like that. I think this one could do super, super well. So above and beyond one of the other topics that we have, which is Solana, that's what I'm looking at, right? Solana and hype. These are some of my biggest positions, holding that 0.5 level, starting to expand. This is going to be very, very similar to Bitcoin in the sense that I said, I'm not too worried about these types of wicks. And the reason why is because leading into what is obviously going to be a very, very highly volatile time period, such as the inauguration event or anything else that's super high economic data and has high impact on the market, you know, you get this illiquidity within the market where you can see big wicks and things like that. So I'm focusing more on the candle closes right now. And if you were simply to move this onto a line chart, it looks damn good, right? Those are your candle closes. If you start to close a candle, anything above 262 on Solana, that is a new all-time high for Solana. Highest ever daily candle close would be intact at above 260. And that means one thing, price discovery, right? Trend continuation. You don't want to fade a powerful trend like that. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Again, if you put in a couple more wicks around here, then we can say, you know, maybe it isn't due to the volatility that came in around those events, and maybe there is some sort of major sell pressure coming into the zone. But right now, this looks super, super strong. Probably have a look at ETH over here as well. You know, we swept the liquidity down there. ETH is attempting to pick up steam. I will remind you as well, I know it's not always picture perfect. Probably better to show you on this chart because I already drew it out. You do have a bit of an inverse head and shoulders formation still on ETH, which is a little bit of hopium for you. Can continue to chop about, but eventually, possibly leading into March, April, you should see the big breakout. If ETH puts in 74%, you know, expect that almost every single altcoin is going to pump in that environment, right? I say almost every because the ones that are dead and flatlined are probably going to continue to be dead and flatlined. But if you were in positions previously, which did very, very well, like Solana, like Hype, like Subi, you know, just to name a few, those will probably also continue to run and run even harder than Ethereum. So that's looking good. All right, let's quickly go as well to 𝗕𝗫𝗅. Let's just double check on 𝗕𝗫𝗅, which is the higher beta play on ETH. If ETH does well, 𝗕𝗫𝗅 does well. So there it is. Let's have a look at 𝗕𝗫𝗅. 𝗕𝗫𝗅 needs to put in a higher low over here. Otherwise, it does risk, of course, dropping all the way back down into the trading range. This needs to basically deviate this level. It's going to do what Ethereum does, right? Just chart Ethereum if you want to know what 𝗕𝗫𝗅 is going to do. If Ethereum can hold up over here and start to grind up, 𝗕𝗫𝗅 should do exactly the same thing. The reclaim of this range high, previous level, we want to flip that into support. Last four digits, 1714, right? Get back above 1714. That's going to start to look really, really good for continuation of 𝗕𝗫𝗅. And if 𝗕𝗫𝗅 does well in that environment, then we know that the other two are going to do well, right? Landwolf and Andy on ETH, right? Landwolf and Andy on ETH, and then we have a flyer as well, which we've thrown in before. Let's quickly pull our list across over here, which is going to be BirdDog, right? So the other one is BirdDog. We got 𝗕𝗫𝗅, we got Landwolf, we got Andy on ETH, and then we have BirdDog over here, which is kind of just chopping about. So personally, I have actually just right before the show set a couple more limit orders on Andy and Landwolf just to upsize my position slightly because I got in very, very, early on BirdDog with a lot of size. I'm not going to be adding to this position. This position is big enough because it's only a $4.83 million market cap. So this one can absolutely get going, right? That is BirdDog. There's the ticker over there. Screenshot that if you want more information on it. And then, of course, you have Andy and Landwolf. I don't know if we have enough price history over here, but putting in its first major correction. Probably better to showcase it on this chart. Let's actually just do that. There's your Andy on ETH, right? You can look at the contract address as well. Always just make sure that you have the right one, but essentially dropping right back down to the bottom of the range over here. So I am kind of just averaging in a bit more of a position over there. That's Andy. And then we can have a look at Landwolf. This is your contract address there for Landwolf. Just look where the cursor is, screenshot that, zoom in. You've come directly into the demand zone. Now, again, TA-wise, I'm not getting too caught up on the actual technicals of these particular charts, but I'm focusing more on what, of course, what ETH is doing. If ETH does very, very well, then we know that Pepe, Andy, Landwolf, Bird Dog is going to do very, very well. They're going to bounce out of these zones alongside ETH, but at a higher magnitude. And then I forgot one, right? We got the laugh out loud prodigy, Brett, bro. Yes, how can I forget Brett, right? Brett is also one of my top positions. I definitely have not forgotten about that one. I just haven't added any more to it because I have such a large position already. So let's go to Brett. Brett has come back down towards the range lows. You do have this parallel channel over here. So, you might get a little scam wick down into the range lows at about 0.0749, but ultimately looking for some sort of a reversal and deviation back into the parallel channel like we had over there, right? And this is where the highs have been found at the top side of that parallel channel. So I am fully loaded on Brett as well. Remember, on Saturday, go to Saturday's video on Crypto Banter if you want to go get the full overview of why I'm bullish on and long on these coins. That will be listed over there, right? So you can go and have a look. That was all about ETH and the ETH higher beta plays. Okay, cool. I have other coins as well. I see Jack over here, Mog, WIF. Yes, I'll hold Mog and WIF as well. These are also part of my meme coin portfolios. Not much has changed, right? Portfolio-wise, all of it's listed in the Whale Room Discord. You can actually just go there and you can see the screenshots of my entire portfolio and the percentage splits. All right, let's continue on over here. So I think really Hype is the one that looks good for today. This seems to be first out the gates. First out the gates usually leads the rally. So if you look at the current things that are bouncing right now, the majors or layer ones, Solana and Hype, right? These seem to be the ones that might lead this next rally. Let's quickly have a look at some of the AI. AI16Z is probably one that we need to put on the list. Let's see, do I have the right? Yes, I do have the right chart over here. Okay, AI16Z. There we go, bouncing out of this level. So this was a very, very key point. We spoke about this. We said what you don't want to see is the complacency bounces over here. So AI16Z, your level to clear or reclaim is simply the yearly open. Until you get above the yearly open, theoretically, this is a downtrend, right? This is a downtrend. So just be careful of any lower highs that may set in. Now, we can actually get out a couple of targets in terms of where those lower highs may fall into place. Let's just grab this over here. We already have that marked out. So you're getting above the 50% level. That's at least one good sign. Let's just check on a normal fib over there. Okay, there we have it. So 0.382, pretty much right where prices over here. If you can start to close candles above $1.29, that will increase the probability that you've actually respected the reclaim of the 50% level. And then you have a higher chance of taking out the yearly open over there on AI16Z. I saw virtuals has also put in a little bit of a pump. So we should probably have a look at virtuals. All right, there's virtuals. Here we go. Okay, I can definitely see the possibility for a W formation, right? If this gets above the yearly open is the neckline of a W formation as well, which would pretty much drive a pretty sizable move, right? There's your high-low. Boom. Then you can look at the W formation, right? So pay attention to that. I do hold virtuals. Given that this is a possibility, maybe I should take a little bit more of a position over here, but get above the yearly open, which is just around that $3.92, and this should do very, very well, right? Giraffe Q1 says Popcat is pumping. Let's have a look at Popcat. Let's quickly check Popcat out. Also, I want to mention in terms of, a lot of the centralized exchanges haven't listed things like Hype, right? So everything I've shown, Hype, Popcat, Virtuals, AI16Z, all of them are listed on BitGet, right? If you do want to get a sign-up bonus specific to BitGet, use the link in the description below, right? Go through to the description below over here. Click the link for BitGet. Where's BitGet? Let's just scroll down. BitGet. Should we refresh that quickly? Is BitGet there? Okay, let's see. Hardest is BitGet there. There we have it. BitGet is on the top. You're getting a 10% rebate, right? 10% off of your spot and futures trading fees. And that is specifically if you use that link. Plus, you get sign-up bonuses, and they have a whole bunch of other competitions and things going on over here, right? Cool. So that's where I bought hype, by the way, on BitGet. Let's continue. Popcat pumping. Look, I mean, guys, come on. It's not really pumping. You know, this has been an absolute annihilation from top to bottom. You know, you can't get excited over that. This has got a lot of work to do. And this is coming from someone that was holding a lot of Popcat, obviously bailed out of that position given the big sell-off that was happening until it looks good again. From top to bottom, you know, you're 81% down and you're only 37% up. Just understand, in order to get back to break even off of an 80% down move, you're talking about a 900% gain. So 80% is absolutely nothing on something like this. To reverse the trend, very similar to a lot of coins, get back above the yearly open. This is what you need to see. You need to see reclaims of the yearly open across the board, right? I can probably delete the orange line. The orange line was your last break of structure. Now it's going to be at the yearly open, so we'll just leave it at that. That is the yearly open. But theoretically, yes, you know, you have hit key support, which is why I guess I'm not too surprised about an interim bounce over there. That is major support. That is the demand zone for something like Popcat. So possible zone to reverse from. But the unfortunate thing with Popcat is, let's actually quickly see if we have that little tool over here. Here's our tool over here. Does this work towards the downside as well? Yes, it does. So if you look at the angle of that move, you're talking about a 70% move towards the downside. When you hit a key support with a high velocity move like that, it can lead to big bounces, right? But 99% of the time, those big bounces will lead into a lower high, and then you need to range for a while, right? So your expectation anytime you see a big drop like that is look for a bit of a ranging market following the first big pump. So first big pump, wherever that fails, then ranging market. That's what your expectation is. Okay, the 𝗥𝗢𝗖𝗘𝗡𝗏 army. I hear the Goku bounty has risen, right? It's somewhere, I think, like $2,000 or something. So Goku's doing very, very well. The Saiyans are planning on absolutely sending this thing, currently attempting to break through this level right now, 20 or 0.023 cents. That's about $24 million market cap. As soon as it claims that level, expect rapid expansion up towards the 1.618, which at least price-wise, you know, this is going to go much, much higher. I think this is a great project. You can actually look at some of the metrics over here. So let's actually do that. If you go through to my Twitter, I did reshare it. You know, they were using some of these over here. Let's go to one of those lists over there. There it is. So, you know, if you look at these lists in terms of the metrics, it puts Goku right there at the top, right? SPX, Floki, Zin, Y2K, SPX, Bitcoin, ARK, Griffin, and then we have Goku, which is above Fartcoin, Mog. You can look at a bunch of them, Pepe, AI16Z. So in terms of these metrics, holders with $1,000 or more, and holders with $1,000, this places you all the way at the top here. You know, it's risen by 21.33%. The holders with more than $1,000. So looking really, really good there on Goku. That is one of my top meme positions as well. If it actually registered on what do we call it? The at least the platform that I'm using, CoinStats. If it registered on CoinStats, you'd probably see it will probably be in the top 5 in terms of position size. So because it doesn't link to CoinStats, that one yet. All right. What else? What else, guys? Mantra. Yeah, let's have a look at Mantra. We can go through to this chart over here. How is Mantra doing? KOM USDT. All right, there it is. Okay, so Mantra is still holding up over here. It's a powerful chart. It's been very, very good. We got in super early. As you can see, this is my first and second buy orders. So I had an average entry of about 32 cents on this particular trade. This was huge, right? 32 cents to even current levels. 860% move, 1,160. It's about a 10x that we did on this. I have started to shave a little bit of profits off here, not because I'm bearish on this chart, but just because I think that it's not going to be a trending move yet. I think that you probably should expect on Mantra a little bit of a range to form, and then what does that look like, right? this is an absolutely enormous bull flag. This could probably send this. Let's actually work out the measured move on a bull flag like this. So if you're looking at something like that, this could easily get sent to about $7.27. But I think it's going to range first, right, before it does something like that. So watch the range low. Expect that in a worst case scenario, you might get a couple of wicks down into $3.20. That's a decent zone to accumulate a little bit more. Okay, render. There is a question around render. So let's go have a look at render. Okay, under part of the AI narrative. And why is this taking so long? Let's just see. It's going to probably be quicker if I just go here. There we go. There is render. So render also chopping about, ranging. So, this is what I'm talking about. I don't think Mantra will range for this long, but this is what I'm talking about. When you do a big move like that, expect that it has to digest things a bit, right? Which means sideways price action. Allow the psychology to catch up from down here. The people who missed the move, the psychology needs time to catch up to realize this is now fair value. We've seen the same thing on Bitcoin, right? That's why following those massive moves, Bitcoin will range, move sideways for a bit of time, raise the psychology over there, and then things start to look good again. So when it comes to render, this is your sweet spot down into the $6 zone. You want to hold that, flip that level into support, and then of course range high at $11. Render looks okay, right? It's trying to flip that level. Okay, what else, guys? Let's see. Pulse AI. This one's also been pretty good. Probably have to look at it on a bit of a lower time frame. So attempting to hold up over here. If this can start to reclaim back above 34 cents, it will look like you're flipping this into support. And that's what you want, right? You're getting high lows. It is very, very sloppy, but high lows, if you can flip that 34, 35 cents, then this thing can start to get sent. We did take a position on this already quite some time ago. I am still holding, right? Okay. Let's see. What else? Casper. Sure, we can have a look at Casper. Casper is also just range bound, I believe. But let's take a look. There it is. There's Casper. So level to level, range lows, slightly missed it. If it can get back above 14 cents, that's when you're in a stronger position to at least mark up to 18, get above 18. And this has been a very, very long-term range. So once you get above 18, I expect, the types of moves that we showed on Mantra, those huge pumps towards the upside, because it's coiled up, right? It's coiling up long-term accumulation or reaccumulation, and then this thing can get absolutely sent over there. Okay, XRP, sure. There's a lot of people want XRP. I know that I don't chart it too often. I apologize for that. It's just, I don't know. I'm not that into XRP. I just think that there are better opportunities out there. But, I will definitely give it to you. The chart is bullish, right? So it's going to be similar to what I just said about Mantra. You get the huge move up, digest, and starts to push up. I think, this does look good for probable continuation, because this is your SL flip. There it is. Came back, perfectly tested into that zone. And I do think XRP probably goes on to create new all-time highs, right? There it is. Get back above 340 and you back into a strong trending move. Has it taken out the levels from, I don't have enough history, I don't think. Is XRP at all-time high yet? Let's quickly have a look over here. This should make it nice and easy. XRP, let's click on that. There we go. XRP max. Okay, it hasn't yet. In terms of getting above those all-time highs, 7.1% away. I think it's going to make all-time highs. I think XRP will take that level out. But risk to reward, I don't think it's a good play. I think there's better things. The tokenomics of XRP are very questionable. This is the predominant reason why I'm not in XRP is purely due to the tokenomics. Okay, the way the tokens come out. All right, what else, fam? Let's see. Okay, PopCat's moving over there. We've covered that. AI16Z, we've covered. Let's see, anything else? Let's see, how's 𝗬𝗡 doing, right? We have to look at 𝗬𝗡. Is 𝗬𝗡 making any sort of recovery? I heard it was a big fund that was a massive seller of 𝗬𝗡, and that's why it got absolutely killed. It's still looking bad. At the very least, just get above the yearly open, which you're getting close to, and then we can start to talk to see if there's any signs of a reversal. Injective, yeah, let's also have a look at Injective over here. Here it is. Where did it go? Injective. 1 second, guys. My eyes are all over here. Let's see Injective. There it is. Okay, Injective. back down to the bottom of the range low. I said I still do believe that this will probably grind out of here, right? And that's purely just because of the falling wedge that we saw. So every time we've seen these falling wedges, everyone gets super excited, and then it just does the slow grind, right? And then eventually turns into a big cup and handle formation with a rounded bottom. So that's probably what this is doing, slow grind. It's probably going to be one of the later ones to run within the cycle. And then I see there's a question around AVAX. Yeah, let's have a look at AVAX. So we're on AVAX on the daily time frame. I haven't pulled this chart up for quite some time. First obvious thing I'd look at is the range, and you can see you're attempting to hold right there at the mid-range, the 50% level. If we pull that out, it's a very, very, very sloppy chart, but this is the level you're trying to hold right now. You know, I guess hard invalidation where you can say that you're probably going to move much, much lower is if you start to take out this level at 30. So somewhere around here, similar to ETH as well, you know, very, very choppy and things like that, bouncing all over the place. You're looking at a bit of a move like that, which actually brings me on to the next point is, you know, Fantico, right? Fantico, let's go to, remember Fantico, guys. We spoke about Fantico. Their Tico token is coming out. They actually build on AVAX, right? Their whole gaming platform is launched on AVAX. So under the gaming sector, remember, you can use the link below and join into my team for part of the competition, like Super Mario type of racing. And if you win, you can win $15,000. And then there's also regularly $100,000 prize pool. So for Fantico, the formula Fantico, it's listed below over there. You race against each other. You can connect your wallet over there. That's essentially how it works. And by registering, you'll get one free token at least to the race, right? So the Tico token, which is coming out very, very soon. I think it's quickly have a look over here. It's on the, I think it's the 27th, if I'm not mistaken. That's going to be, okay, the TGE party, pre-TGE party is on the 24th, but I think it may be the 27th that they're actually launching. Maybe it's listed over here. There we go. Live in 5 days, 6 hours and 48 minutes, right? So the Tico token will be used as the token to access all of these games and things like that in the future. That is going to be going live. And if you use the link below, right, if you run out of tokens, remember, you can earn more tickets, right? More tickets to play the game by clicking the Telegram link over there. And then they have various different little challenges and things that you can play out in order to get free extra tokens, right? Or tickets to play. Okay, cool. EOS, yes, let's have a look at EOS. EOS over here. So that is under AI. I think this gave up a lot of the gains that it previously had, but let's see how it's doing today. Okay, let's actually go back on my other chart where I have a bit more things charted for EOS. EOS, there we have it. All right, so we initially got long down here. I'll expand this a little bit. We got long down here on this white arrow, which is about 38 cents. So it's still up massively. It had a pretty explosive move. Chart-wise, you know, in the short term, I'm just going to quickly redraw some of this because this is very, very, very choppy. So let's clean this up a bit. Let's clean that. All right. Okay, so firstly, levels to claim. Look, I mean, you got your all-time highs over there. So I would be looking for some sort of a deviation. You know, you might get that. That's going to be the big move. In the short term, you, of course, have a trading range that's developing over here. So I'm going to mark it out over here just a little bit higher. And then let's just see where the mid-range lines up over there. Mid-range will be your first area of interest. I don't think it's going to get above the mid-range yet. I think that EOS probably sweeps back down one more time into there. That's if I was looking for a long, I'd be taking it over there. And then again, getting above the 103 would mean that this entire move over here would be the deviation, right? That's your big macro high low, and then you're looking at continuation. So you can just mark out the level to show initial signs of strength, get back above 89 cents, right? 89 cents over there. Okay, Chainlink. Yeah, we can have a look at Chainlink. I haven't brought that one up for quite some time. How is Link doing? It is a USA coin. Yesterday we spoke about the USA coins. Why is Link not on here? There it is at the bottom. Okay, there, Link. All right, Link is looking really good. Definitely doesn't look too bad. This is clearly holding as major support at the 50% level prior SR flip region. That's looking great. It looks like it's going to go for continuation back into new highs for at least this particular cycle. And if it can break above 30, I would start to target the all-time highs for Chainlink. So I don't think Chainlink looks too bad, even though it's not in the limelight right now. Those are the levels. This is your range, ranging between $19 and on the top side, $29, and looks like it could be putting in a major high low over there. So that is for Chainlink. Remember, guys, if you want to learn more about trading, 7 days, right? Exactly 7 days. Next week, Wednesday, we do begin with Whale School. There's a link in the description below. It will take you there. Please use that exact link. I think we're at over 95% capacity now. I'm going to have to ask at this rate if they can expand the servers to allow additional people in. So go through to the YouTube description over there, scroll through to the bottom, and you should see over here, there it is, Whale School, right? Whale School is over there. Click that link, sign up. There you go. Sign up while you still can. You can learn how to trade in just 10 days, especially if you're new and you know nothing about trading. I teach everything there, the A to Z's of trading. That is it from me, folks. Let's leave it at that. It's been a long show, 50 minutes in already. And also jump into Whaleroom if you want to expand your knowledge and you want to help with us. I'll see the rest of you on tomorrow's show. I hope you all have an absolutely lovely day, and cheers for now.